Good afternoon. It is Sunday, January 28th, 2018. My name is Jacqueline. Justin is here.
Hello.
We are the Bitter Knitters TV Attack Edition. We've got all the latest of the week's news and reviews of what happened on TV and Netflix and Hulu and Amazon and any way you can watch television show. Justin has it.
Oh, we did our phone last week when we were talking about HQ trivia.
That's true. We talked about HQ trivia.
Pretty much anything. And there's a possible, like Apple TV is now picking up all these shows. They're picking up a show from Damien Chazelle or Apple TV or Apple Music. I don't even understand what Apple's trying to do. All I know is I don't subscribe to it, and I want to see a Damien Chazelle show. Because I'm sorry, I love La La Land, and I like Whiplash. But yeah, I don't know what Apple's trying to do. Everyone's trying to have their own network and their own TV shows now, and Facebook has it. I don't know. It's getting to the point where it's too much.
Yeah.
But
I mean, that's the future of TV, right? Like, I mean, I would say, what do you think? In 10 to 15 years, there probably won't even be like regular TV.
There may not be. Well, what
like cable or whatnot. Absolutely
insane. Yeah. Who knows what the Faces TV is going to look like? Especially if like the Disney and Fox thing goes through, that's going to change. It's mind blowing.
Well, and if net neutrality actually is repealed in America fully, I mean, pick and play basically.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
so that'll change how people watch TV too.
Yeah, that'll be fascinating. Hopefully, it won't be completely repealed, but that'll be.
I'm hoping it doesn't happen for you guys.
How's Canada looking? No, so
fantastic.
So I think things are going to look completely different as we.
I just will say this: you know that they deemed internet service a human right in Canada.
Oh, really?
Access to internet. Now, you don't have to have it if you don't buy it, but you have to be able to access it, it if you want to. Human right. I'm just saying.
We don't believe in human rights in my country.
What's a human right? The right to go to McDonald's and eat 2 cheeseburgers.
So, yeah, I'm not going to comment anymore. I'm going to get myself in trouble. So let's go ahead. Yeah, there wasn't a lot of TV this week, but we had some good stuff going on. And we've got some rumors because on, I believe it's February 6th or 7th, I think it's the 7th, Celebrity Big Brother US is going to premiere. And now this is something that's been going on for like a decade now in the UK, right?
Yeah, at least, yeah.
Been going on. And again, for when I first saw the rumored U.S. list, which we'll talk about in a minute, I was disappointed. But when I thought about it, I mean, it kind of matches with the kind of people they get in the U.K.
Yeah, you're not getting Angelina Jolie and, Vince Vaughn in Celebrity Big Brother.
No, you're getting Jedward and Tara Reid.
Which, you know what? I would love Jedward again. They were amazing on their series.
Jedward's awesome. Yeah, they get a lot of people from, like, Geordie Shore. Was that The Only Way is Essex?
Yeah, Essex.
That kind of
stuff. There's another one too they do. I can't remember. It's like that, but not. I can't remember. Made in Chelsea.
Yeah, Made in Chelsea. That's kind of like our versions of like, I don't want to like Real Housewives, Jersey Shore, those kinds of TV shows. And we
Alabama Shore, Floribama, whatever that's called.
Epcot. And this cast is kind of similar to that. Now, this isn't confirmed. This is from a Twitter page but you know what?
This person, I will say this just so people don't know. This Twitter page, Julie BB Insider, whatever it's called, she releases a lot of information on Big Brother stuff, and she's got a good record.
Oh, okay, so she's been around for a while.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So right now, she's released the name of the 10 cast members with another 11th one that I actually did not know about until right now, but they haven't named yet. And it sounds like the cast is being sequestered this weekend. I've heard rumors that maybe tonight during the Grammys we'll get a taste of some of the cast, and then they'll be moving in later this week. So you ready to go through the cast?
I'm ready. I'm excited.
All right. Our first name is Brody Jenner. Because they couldn't.
So, if anybody doesn't know who Brody Jenner is, he was on a show. Remember, he was on that Princess of Hollywood or Beverly Hills or something like that. Their stepfather is David Foster. Their father is Caitlyn Jenner.
Mm-hmm. And so he's got kind of the whole Jenner Kardashian type connection, and Yeah, and even his David Foster has appeared on like The Real Housewives with Yolanda, I guess his current or ex-wife. I don't know if they're together. So yeah, so we got Brody Jenner. Yeah. And then the next one is we have Sammy Sweetheart, who is from Jersey Shore.
Yeah. She seems like, I mean, I didn't ever watch it, but just reading in like tabloids over the years, she seemed to be one of the ones that didn't get into that much trouble.
Yeah, and what's kind of interesting is that they are actually currently in the middle of filming a Jersey Shore reunion season. And it had come out a while ago that Sammy was not participating in that. And this is why she's going to be in the Big Brother house.
I did hear that rumor when they said that she wasn't in it. People were saying, oh, she's going to be on Celebrity Big Brother. So,
yeah, so that's Sammy Sweetheart. Now we have probably one of the bigger names. There's a couple that I would call bigger names. So one of the bigger names, which is Lance Bass from NSYNC.
Yeah, from NSYNC. Yeah.
He's been rumored for a long time. And at one point, it seemed like he was asking too much money. I guess they came to some sort of agreement because he's rumored to be part of the house.
Listen, Lance Bass, okay? You weren't even the Justin Timberlake or the Joey Fat one. Okay, you aren't the biggest name in NSYNC. And
he wasn't even a Lance Bass.
The only thing you've done since is had like some like very public romances. So you should take what they're giving you.
Yeah, and I saw him on TV last year. He was in that, I forgot what it was even called. It was like a celebrity cooking dinner party reality show that Naomi Judd was on and Andrew Dice Clay and Megan Rhymes' ex-husband.
Oh, that one. I remember that.
Yeah,
I didn't watch it, but I remember talking about it.
I kind of liked it. Yeah, Kat Cora and Curtis Stone were the judges. The celebrities and their partners would like do a dinner party, and the other celebrities would come and rate the dishes. Brandy and
it sounds
Ray
like
J
Come
were
Dine
on
with
it.
Me Celebrity.
Yeah, it was similar
There's
with
a show
that.
called Come Dine with Me.
Yeah, and I'm trying to remember what they called this one, but yeah, so he was on that. So obviously his threshold for reality shows isn't that high.
I think he was on like the show that had like the gay couples, like the gay couples of Hollywood or whatever. Like,
oh, I don't
his
know.
boyfriend was the one that used to be on Amazing Race. Remember, he was with that guy that Riken.
Oh, Chip and Riken. Was it Riken or Chip?
Riken, I think he was with. I think he was on a reality show with him. So you know,
and I think
no Brad Pitt, right? He's no Justin Timberlake.
And I think, yeah. And I no, he's not even Chris Kirkpatrick. No, he's better than Chris Kirkpatrick.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that all these people have in common is that they all do have reality show experience. Every single one of these people on this list, which is why I think I have against.
Oh, really?
One.
Even T.O.?
He was on Apprentice.
I forgot he was on Apprentice.
Terrell Owens is our next person. Football player, well known. He's one of the another one of the bigger names, and he was on.
To me, he's like the biggest name on this list.
Yes, and he was
right. I mean, he's been to the Super Bowl. I don't know if he won a Super Bowl, but he's definitely been to the Super Bowl.
Did he do Dancing with the Stars or not?
Oh, you know what? I think he did.
Maybe he did. So he definitely has reality show experience.
Yeah.
We also have Johnny Bananas, who is a MTV Challenge Real World person.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Is
his last name really Bananas?
That's a good question. First name? That's a good question. Okay. I want to go on and be like, I'm Petey Pineapple. That'd be awesome. And the next person is we have Gigi Gorgeous, who I guess is, who do we decide? Like a YouTube person?
She started out on YouTube. I think like one of the makeup gurus.
Yeah. And she is transgender?
She's a transgender. She started out as a male when she started on YouTube and transitioned on YouTube while she was building up her base.
Wow. I actually don't know. I knew she was transgender. I didn't know she was transitioning. Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And now we have Matt Eisman, also from The Apprentice and the co-host of Ninja Warrior.
Okay. I don't watch that.
We have, I can't say her last name, Andrea Boki. She was from Survivor, and she should not be in this house. Honestly.
Did she win?
She never won, but she's been on like 3 seasons.
Yeah.
And now she's kind of like a host.
Was that her name when she was on?
Yes.
Okay.
It was always a weird last name. People TV has like a weekly Survivor wrap-up thing, almost like a Talking Dead type thing. on their People
Okay.
TV online thing, and she actually hosts that. And they always get Dalton Ross from Entertainment Weekly, and then like 2 or 3 like past survivors, and every once in a while another celebrity. So she hosts that. So she's been doing like hosting things now too.
Okay.
We have Beth Chapman.
I think she's Steve Jones, but she's not.
She's not.
Yes,
No.
Beth Chapman.
Dog's wife, the bounty hunter.
Yeah, I think she's one of the next, probably after Lance Bass, the most well-known, I would say.
Yeah, I think everyone knows who she is, I would think.
Yeah, everybody knows Dog and Beth, right? Even if you don't watch the show. I never watched 1 minute of the show, but I knew who Dog and Beth are.
Yeah, I know them from South Park.
Oh my God, her boobs on South Park.
One of my greatest favorite things in the world. I love some of the celebrity renditions that they do in South Park. Like Sarah Parker's a classic. But I think one of my all-time favorites is their Beth.
Oh my God, it's just boobs
She's
and
all
boobs. And hair.
She's all boobs, and it's amazing. And then probably my favorite house guest. I'm so looking forward to this. Tiffany Pollard. And you're probably like, who?
I know who she is because she was on UK Celebrity Big Brother.
Yeah, she was on UK Celebrity Big Brother.
Amazing. She was an amazing host guest. If she brings a quarter of what she brought to that show, she'll be amazing.
I know it's kind of sad now that he's dead in real life, but I just thought of that moment where that David Guest had died in the house.
So David Guest was a house guest, and he was really feeling like poorly. So they put him in a separate room so he could get some sleep. And at the same time, David Bowie's ex-wife was in the house. And when David Bowie passed in real life, they told her, Angie, and she went into the house and she said to Tiffany that David had died. And of course, Tiffany automatically assumed it was David Guest who was in the house. And she lost her mind, of course, because she was freaked out. And it was hysterical to watch because, yes, someone had died, but just Tiffany's expression and that he had died, and then when she realized he was alive, she like really blamed Angie Bowie and kind of made it seem like Angie did it on purpose. It was so funny.
Awful because like someone in her life, someone in her past had passed away.
Yeah.
Can't put blame on that.
No,
but
and she of course is like David Bowie, my ex-husband. She just say David.
David died. David's dead. I love that moment. I didn't even watch the series, but I watched that clip several times. So she's most well known for I Love New York, or sorry, Flavor of Love. She first appeared on, and then she moved over to I Love New York, which was her own dating show.
Had like 25 spinoffs, right? I Still Love New York, and
yeah. I think I Love New York had a couple seasons, and then my favorite New York show was called. New York Goes to Work or New York Needs a Job, where people got to vote. Kind of, yeah. But what was kind of cool is that the public got to vote on what job she had to do next.
So she had to give her the shit jobs.
Yeah, she had to go work on a farm and give birth to a cow. And
she gave birth to a cow?
Well, this is a New Yorker talking about. She can do anything. No, she had to help. Yeah, give birth to a cow. And I forgot what else she had to do, but people made her do.
She was the surrogate.
Take that, Dina and Sandra and Heather, and so many surrogates on TV right now.
I know.
And so yeah, I'm trying to figure out what else they made her do. For some reason, I think just like Simple Life, I think she may have ended up at a nudist resort. But she did a lot of stuff, and she kind of sometimes she knows what good TV is. So sometimes she's a little phony, and she kind of will manufacture and kind of go for. But you know what? It's entertaining.
Skilled people that kind of know what their base is looking for in sense of entertainment on these reality shows, right?
Yes. And
so who's the rumor
for the? Oh, okay, the 11th house guest.
Number 11, yeah.
They think that they're from American Pie. Since I'm going and I'm looking at people who. Everybody on this list has reality show experience. So I kind of feel like it has to be Tara Reid.
I think it could be Tara Reid. She doesn't got much going for her anymore career-wise. She did UK Big Brother. You know what? I will say this. When she was on her season, she seemed like a nice person. But I think she's just a little too drug-addled, her brain. Like, even though she'll be forced to be sober in the house, I don't know. We'll see.
Because I'm going through the list, and no, I can't really think of anybody else. I mean, Shannon Elizabeth did those like poker shows, but that doesn't really.
That's not the same. I think it will be Terry. I'm sad. I'm devastated. It's not Kathy Griffin.
Yeah, that's right. I think that would have been interesting.
But you know, whatever. We'll see what happens. You can watch the live feeds online. You can buy them, or you can. There's many sites where you can watch them pirated. I'm not going to share those, but you can find them.
And with the last couple of years, because when you originally bought them, it was like through Real Player and through. But now that they have the CBS All Access for the last couple of years, if you subscribe to All Access, you automatically the feeds are part of that.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, and usually they have good deals. We can get a couple months free. I bet at the beginning, some Big Brother they'll have a sale where it'll be cheaper for a month. And there's always like either a 17 or 7 or 14-day trial.
Yeah.
So
that will cover most of the series, really.
Yeah, because it is only a 3-week series. What I don't know is I don't know if the feeds will be on the whole time or if the feeds are just going to start after the show like they do during regular Big Brother, which means the feeds will only be on for 2 weeks. It's kind of their way to kind of...
Do you think they'll do a live launch like they do in the UK? Maybe that would be the way to go, a live launch?
That would be interesting. I feel like they should look at the UK and use that as a model, which I already think they aren't. Because if they are moving in this week and we're going to get a whole week of them being in the house without us seeing it until the first episode airs, I feel like that might be kind of a mistake.
But is it 3 weeks of them in the house or 3 weeks of actual viewing? Because there's the difference.
That's a good question, because if it's a live finale, which it might be, then they'd be in the house closer to 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess we'll find out when it starts next week.
I guess that makes sense, because if it's airing for 3 weeks and they're moving in a week before, I guess it is closer to a month, because I assume the finale is going to be a live finale.
How much would it take for you to go into, like, guaranteed money to go into the Big Brother house?
Oh, that's a tough question.
Not even celebrity, just like imagine the summer series that goes 3 months, right? How much guaranteed money would you have to do it for? Because they don't get guaranteed, like they don't get a guaranteed cash. It's just regular people.
Yeah.
The celebrities are going to get their guaranteed 100 grand or whatever they decided on.
I would probably need close to 100.
Because it's so intrusive.
Here's the thing: is people are viewing you for 24/7. You are an open book, and there's no place to hide.
Yeah.
And
you're scratching your ass, you're picking your nose.
And spoiler alert: I'm not the world's greatest roommate. So having So having to live with anywhere between 10 and 15 other people in a little confined place where I've got nowhere to go, I would probably Audrey myself, look like the Unabomber and just hang out on a bed, because I would need to get away from those people.
I just thought of Howie's Jack Shack. If anybody ever watched, they had a celebrity.
I don't know about Howie's Jack Shack.
An all-star edition, and Howie and I can't remember who the other person was that used it. I want to say Mike Boogie.
Oh, gross.
They used like this little storage bench thing that you would put like the garden tools into, and it was big enough for them to curl up in there and wank off, and that way they couldn't get filmed jacking off on camera. The Jack Shack.
Mike Boogie. In San Diego. No, oh my God, that's so gross. Just Mike Boogie. I guess I was okay with Howie, but you bring in Mike Boogie into the equation. That guy's I just don't like him at all. But you know what? I will say one more thing about the Big Brother list. I do have good news. You know who's not on that list? Frankie Grande.
Yeah.
He was rumored. That would have been unwatchable.
That would have ruined the show. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I look at this current list, and there isn't anyone where I'm like, oh no, I'm turned off because of that person. But
no, and I'll give it a chance. Like, it looks like a decent cast. I watched the Big Brother UK one, and I usually know only one person. So for the most part, sometimes. I only don't know 2 people on this list, right? Matt Iseman and Johnny Bananas. So yeah, it should be interesting.
And I'm not familiar with Gigi Gorgeous, but she'd be
I know of her, but I don't know what kind of personality she has or anything like that.
But I'm familiar with everyone else. Yeah, Matt Iseman. did he either won? I think he won Arnold's Apprentice season, or he was second place. But he made it to the end.
I mean, compare this with the Dancing with the Stars list, where everybody's a stranger bitch except for maybe 2 people.
Oh, closely.
Stranger bitch, trademarked by Delisted.
Well, I can't wait to read his article on this cast.
Yeah, it should be good.
It should be good. Because I'm hoping that term comes back. No. So.
And what is the start date again?
The start date is, I think it's February 7th.
Okay, well, we'll know next week for sure. We'll tell you. And
Yeah.
we'll be able to confirm who's on it next week.
But it's, yes, because I think we should possibly know tonight. If it's not tonight, once they move in, I'm sure they'll release the cast.
Yeah.
It is Wednesday, February 7th, which I think is the day before the opening ceremonies, or the day. It's very close. It's pretty much timed with the Olympics.
Okay, now, just based on the list that we have out of these 10 for sure, well, we don't know for sure, but who's your winner?
Now, I'm going to ask this. Are they doing, what we don't know is, I assume they're going to be doing American version of elimination.
Where the people in the house vote.
Instead of the UK celebrity. Okay.
Yes.
Matt Iceman.
So it doesn't matter if you're nice. It matters if the house.
Matt Iceman. Okay. He was able to succeed at that with Celebrity Apprentice, and I'm gonna say Matt. Who's your winner?
I don't know. I would want maybe somebody like Terrell or Tiffany to win.
I would love Tiffany
but I think Tiffany will rub people the wrong way potentially. I could see somebody like a Matt or a Johnny, just because I don't know them.
Yeah.
I think Johnny most of these other people aren't going to know them, and there's a good chance that they might be able to, play the crowd.
I think most people will know who Matt is.
Really? In the reality world, yeah.
Yeah. I think that this format's not going to help Tiffany. I think if Americans voted people out, I don't think that would help Tiffany either.
Yeah.
Because as we saw in Big Brother 1, all the fun, interesting people with personalities were voted out first. Because
that's what happens in America. In Britain,
Americans are buzzkills. They keep you. So Tiffany made it really far, did she not?
Oh, Sister Patty says Johnny Bananas has been through votes before, and she'd also won 100,000. Hey, Sister Patty. Yeah, she didn't win. Tiffany didn't win, but she was liked, and she stuck around a lot longer than probably people would have expected.
Yeah. Did she make it to the finals or right before?
I can't remember.
But she made it very far.
I think she might have been in the final 4 or 5.
So I don't think Americans would keep her around, and in the house format, I don't think they're going to keep her around.
No, because in America, they like good guys. So if America was voting, I'm sure it'd be somebody like Andrea, who they think is like.
And I could see Beth maybe doing well, because hasn't she gone through like breast cancer?
Yeah, she had cancer, and she's Dog's wife, and she's like in the, she's taking down the bad guys and stuff.
So right? I can see her doing well too.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Now, my winners are Matt or Beth. So it'll be interesting to see. So yeah, it's gonna be Wednesday the 7th. Hopefully, we'll know more about the cast, and it should be fun. They should bring in Jedward.
Oh my god, that'd be so good.
Oh.
You know who else is not on the list, and I'm glad? That Jesse guy.
Oh god.
Mr. Perfect, fantastic. What was his name?
Mr. Spectacular.
Yeah, I'm glad he's not on that list.
Yeah.
Bye.
Well, he's got a baby now somehow. Somehow. I don't know how.
Allegedly.
So maybe that's why. Thank goodness. So do we want to talk about some other news very quickly?
Yes.
20 minutes of Big Brother talk. Yes.
Yeah.
Timeless Season 2 is coming back March 11th. So that's good. That was a show that had Season 1 last year. I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. I think we both enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was
NBC canceled it, and 3 days later, brought it back.
They went back in time and got their show saved.
Yes, that was amazing. It was really
it was great.
Really kind of cool. Last week we talked about how Joel McHale has a Netflix show starting February 18th. February 18th is also the return date for John Oliver. Last week tonight.
Yay!
So I'm very excited. Not a big fan of his promo this season. Normally I like his promos and think they're pretty funny. This promo was okay.
Oh, I didn't see the promo. I'll have to watch it after the show.
Yeah, it was okay. Last week we also talked about Paul Bettany. Looked like he was going to be cast in The Crown. Talks fell through. He had scheduling conflicts, I think, and so he's not going to be able to be Prince Philip. But most places are reporting that what's her name is going to play Margaret.
Oh, Helena Bonham Carter.
Yeah, so I don't know if she's official, but her name keeps coming.
That's who they're trying anyway.
So that they're going to have to recast Philip. So it'll be interesting. And I think one of the big stories this week was...
You know who they should get, just because it'd be funny? That guy, Peter Capaldi.
Oh.
Yeah, that was Doctor Who. Get the next Doctor Who.
Yeah, that works. I was going to say Gilbert Gottfried.
Oh my God, yes. Okay, go on. More news.
One of the biggest news this week was about Big Little Lies. First of all, they announced Skarsgård is coming back. Alexander Skarsgård. Hopefully, it's just for flashbacks.
It will have to be flashbacks. He's dead.
They also have cast his mother, and his mother is going to be on season 2, and is going to be played by Meryl freaking Streep. That was that blew my mind when I saw that. That was insane. Has she done? She doesn't really do TV.
I don't know. I don't think she has done any real TV, has she?
Maybe miniseries stuff if she has, but that's huge for them. But I mean, it works because Nicole Kidman's not a huge TV person. Reese Witherspoon's not a huge TV person. She wants us to think she isn't, but Shailene Woodley is a TV person.
She is a TV person.
I'm looking at you, Secret Life of an American
Teenage.
I think she wants to. Yeah. I think she wants us to believe that never happened, but it did. But yeah, that's huge.
She's an amazing actress. I mean, the show was good. The acting was amazing. And I mean, if the writing is good, can you imagine how great the season's going to be?
Yes. David E. Kelly, who wrote all of last season, is writing the season. Going to be a new director, but I feel like the writing will be the same. I feel like, I'm just concerned because this is no longer based on the book, since the book was one and done with season 1. Yeah. Leanne Moriarty apparently did collaborate with the story, so she helped kind of create the story. So that's
Skarsgård could be a twin brother because remember he has twin sons on the show.
Oh, that's true. I didn't think of it that way. But,
so,
and
maybe he'll be like a nice twin. Oh, imagine he's the evil twin.
Oh God! As if Skarsgård was evil enough, now his twin is the evil one.
Even more evil, yeah.
And I want to see again. I don't know if he's coming back on the show because he's now young Sheldon. I want to see Meryl Streep meet Ziggy.
Oh yeah.
Pretty much, she's his grandmother.
Ziggy,
yeah, she's his grandmother. From a rape, but she's his grandmother.
From a rape, yeah.
From a rape.
Well, I'm sure that'll play a part into it. 100%.
Oh, definitely. The other thing this week
she's gonna. Oh, maybe she's trying to take the kids from Celeste.
I think that might be part of it, because all like the log lines are talking about she's concerned about the kids, and so I think it's going to be a good meaty role, and I think we're going to get a lot of good scenes between
all the Emmys and Golden Globes next year to Amabella.
Yes, yes, she should win everything, Nobel Peace Prize and everything. We skipped over the best news of the week, and for the last couple of years, KFC has had a rotating line of Colonel Sanders.
It's really TV.
It's a commercial. Yes. It's his TV.
Okay.
A rotating line of Colonel Sanders. You've had Norm Macdonald, Daryl Hammond, and now our current Colonel Sanders is Reba. Reba McEntire is a female Colonel Sanders, and she's singing about barbecue chicken, and it is the greatest commercial of the year.
A cross between what's his name, Dana Carvey and Sherry O'Terry. That's what I thought it was.
I see a lot of Dana Carvey. I also see a little bit of Benedict Cumberbatch, just a bit. But that's awesome.
Oh, Sister Patty says hashtag not my Colonel Sanders.
Oh, hashtag always my Colonel Sanders. Forever my Colonel Sanders.
Well, she's got the best singing voice out of all the Colonel Sanders.
Have you ever heard Norm Macdonald? Never mind. Yeah, I think you're right. George Hamilton, he was the other one I was thinking of. He played the extra crispy.
Ew, that's right. I forgot about that.
That was gross. And I remember seeing an astronaut when I couldn't tell who it is. I found out today it was Rob Lowe. So I didn't know.
Okay. He's been doing a lot of commercials, Rob Lowe.
Yes, yeah. He did like DirecTV a while ago. The other big thing this week is, like we talked about last week, pilot season. So a lot of shows are starting to pick up pilot orders. And the trend for this coming year seems to be more reboots. Whether we're completely rebooting the show or we're rebooting a past show with a lot of characters, CBS 2 Series has ordered Murphy Brown with Candice Bergen. I was never into Murphy Brown to begin with.
No.
I have a feeling it's kind of
like old for our age range. You know what I mean? Like the political talk and the adult talk and stuff. Yeah, I think it was just
kind of went above my head, I think, at that time. And I bet the focus is going to be on her son. The son that she gave birth to. Because,
I mean, that was a big deal. She was a single mom on TV back then.
That was huge. Take that, Dan Quayle.
And she wasn't divorced or widowed. She had the baby without a husband.
So it'll be interesting to see what they do, which members come back. Faith Ford, I'm sure, will come back. I just hated that character's name, Corky.
Oh, I forgot her name was Corky. Well, the original OG Corky was always on that other show.
Life Goes On. Obla-dee, obla-da. And
so,
they're also looking at Greatest American Hero for ABC, but with a female Greatest American Hero.
Oh, my God. If they don't use the original song and they try to make some rebooted version, I'm going to gouge my own ear.
Or they'll do what Full House did, and they'll have Carly Rae Jepsen re-record it.
No, I love that's like a perfect song.
CW is looking at Charmed.
I saw that Holly Marie Coombs is not pleased.
No. And they want to make it more feminist or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it already was feminist. It was 3 women, beating the evil powers. Come on.
The other 2, now this is CBS. So pretty much all the networks, except at this point Fox, which I'm sure have their own things.
Herman's Head.
Herman's Head reboot. Yes. CBS is ordering pilots for a Cagney and Lacey reboot.
And the same actresses, right?
I don't know.
They're too old. They should be retired if they were cops. You can't be a cop and you're like 75 years old.
Yeah, they're both in their 70s, so probably not. And then Magnum PI.
No.
Yeah.
The only way I would want to be Magnum PI is if it was like Steve Jones.
He can do it.
He's got the body for it.
I can see it.
But he'll have, Magnum will have like a hipster beard instead of like just the mustache.
Totally. Oh, God. And then, but again, these are just pilots. Hopefully they won't go through. But they already have name recognition. But I feel like name recognition doesn't always get you viewers. Other quick. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, if you could bring back any show as a reboot or a remake, what would you do?
Kid Nation. That's a reality show, so that doesn't count. But Kid Nation, what would you choose? Let me think quickly. Oh, I got one.
If I'm talking like a comedy show, maybe like Facts of Life, because I loved Facts of Life growing up. Drama, I don't know. Maybe like, it's going to be so late. Like Simon and Simon.
Oh, I was going to say Jake and the Fat Man.
I didn't watch Jake and the Fat Man.
I got one. I got the show I would reboot. Now, this is a show that was on in the late 80s, maybe early 90s. It was on ABC. It was a cop comedy. It was on for 2 years. Most people probably don't even know the show exists. It is called Sledgehammer.
Sounds familiar.
It was about this like Dirty Harry type guy who's kind of this like badass cop and like overly serious and just kind of a gun nut and kind of always like off his rocker, and just him with his female partner and their boss who's kind of very who I would call a rageaholic. Thank you, Nashville.
Rageaholic.
And yeah, it was kind of a funny show. And my favorite story about the show is at the end of the first season, the creators were like, there's no way we're going to get picked up for season 2. So they ended it with a cliffhanger where they were in like a spa and it had a nuclear explosion in all of LA, destroying all of LA with a nuclear explosion.
Well, I think we know how that show ended.
And then they got word that they got picked up for season 2. So they wrote themselves into a corner. And so at the beginning of season 2, they're like, oh, all this is Sledgehammer the earlier. They all take place before last season's finale.
Oh my god!
It's like a voiceover, so it was kind of funny. So that would be my choice. I would reboot Sledgehammer.
Then have to go back to his early years.
Yes. Yeah. Well, if they did Sledgehammer at this point, because I felt like at the
post-apocalyptic Sledgehammer.
Guy seemed old to me. I bet he was like younger than I am right now.
Yeah,
he seemed old, but I mean, if they did like Sledgehammer now, it would be like a hotshot, like 22-year-old.
Yeah, taking down all the terrorists and stuff.
I could do it. Even though I'm kind of picturing Luke Hemsworth, who's not 22. I don't know why Luke is.
Why Luke? Why do you always bring up Luke Hemsworth?
Well, he's kind of the guy in my head. Maybe he's not, but in my head, he kind of looks like the Sledgehammer guy. So if I were to compare them back and forth, they probably won't. But
if I'm casting Sledgehammer, I've never seen the show or know anything about it. I'm gonna cast Luke Wheeler.
Oh, that would work. That would work because Versace is just a short-term job for him.
Just a short-term job, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
I could see that. Okay. So we've got 25 minutes to talk about the TV shows.
I have news. You didn't mention news. Oh. I have the biggest news of the week. You didn't mention.
Oh, what's your news?
That Macy, what's her name? Macy from Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah, this was on my list. Yeah, Maisie Williams.
She said that it's coming back in April of 2019.
Yeah, so we'll get spring 2019 for Game of Thrones.
She gave us a month confirmation, so yay, Macy.
Gave us a month, yeah. So that's good. Good for her. I wonder, like, because I feel like she's talked. I feel like Sophie Turner has talked, and it makes me wonder if they're either given permission from HBO to leak these things, or if how would HBO feel like they hear this? They're like, oh shit.
Now we got to put it on in April.
So I like they're not supposed to say that, but I bet that they've got.
Yeah, wasn't she at some sort of Comic-Con sort of thing, like a convention?
Yeah, so I bet she.
So usually at those conventions, that's where they let those things slip, right?
And those things turn in. That's a way to get, and that news spreads quickly. So it's a way to kind of spread the news, kind of organically too. So that makes sense. So yeah, we're looking at April 2019 for Game of Thrones.
The world better not end before this series ends, okay?
I think I've said this to you before. I cannot promise you that. With the way things are looking right now, that is not a promise I am comfortable with making. Before we talk about our first show, we do have a sponsor this week. So our show this week is brought to you by the Horse Rehabilitation Clinic from this week's Nashville.
Yes, I don't even know what it's called. Therapy horses or something?
I don't know. Was that not the most useless storyline in the history of storylines?
All of Scarlett's storylines are so useless. Is this just a way for her to find out love interest?
I think so. Isn't he younger than maybe not, because he's not there as a therapy person. He's
one of the I think he's a vet, right?
I thought he was the nephew of that woman.
Yeah, he's the nephew, but I think he's like a military veteran.
Oh, that kind of. Oh, yeah, that kind of vet.
Yeah, that kind of vet. Yeah, not injecting and giving birth to horses.
Oh my God, maybe it's Colt from the future.
Ew.
Because he went, yeah. So Scarlett's not singing anymore, so she wants to make
like how she helped her fat fan.
Yeah, her fat fan, Scarlett's fat fan. So now she went to a horse farm. I was kind of hoping we would see the fat fan at the horse farm. And I didn't really understand. Not as a horse, but as one of the therapy people. One of the teams.
So I just pictured her on a horse.
But they don't ride horses there. That's a common misconception. No,
they don't. So they just get to pet them.
The hard-ass lady who's in charge of the camp is talking with Scarlett. It's no one gets to ride this horse. I don't know what they're doing with these horses. And Scarlett's
she's not even allowed to talk to any of the people there. Not even hi, how are you? That lady's watching her every move. She's you're ruining their therapy lessons.
She pops up every second. Scarlett's about to do something. And it was so stupid.
I'm just waiting for Scarlett to get to by horses. That's my hope.
Or her fat fan. Either or. I'd be there for either. And then Bucky came back. We haven't seen Bucky in a while.
Yes, that's his name,
and
Bucky. I don't know why I thought his name was
and
Greg. Oh, Glenn.
it seems like Glenn. Oh, Glenn is
Juliet's manager.
Juliet's manager. They look the same. I remember season 1. I couldn't tell the difference between Glenn and Bucky.
Yeah. Bucky,
And
that's
so,
his name.
is he still working for Highway 65? They're not really
Remember
clear
he
on
got
what's
fired
going on.
by that guy fired him because he was too old and out of touch.
But now that Zach's gone, like, what's he doing? Is he just managing people now?
He's gonna end up managing Gunner and Avery and Will's band.
So they're now a band, and they've been performing together. But they're kind of doing their own songs, and then in like manufactured drama, all of a sudden Gunner and Will like hate each other and keep like.
Will's too much of a showboat, and Gunner's too much of a sad sack.
He's too emo, and then they keep making like boy band references the entire episode.
Yes.
And Jesse's like, I want to have sex with Justin Timberlake or be him, or something. And so at the end,
seek some counseling.
They go, yeah, she's messed up. So they come to their differences, resolve their differences, and then by singing "Tearing Up My Heart" by NSYNC at a concert. The second they begin their choreography and singing their song, there's nobody at the stage. But as soon as the first notes happen, all like 20 women that are like middle-aged, like just go start running up.
How dare you mock my people?
That's so cheesy. That was so cheesy. And then even Jesse was like, "Oh my god, I'm melting."
No, if I was at like a concert and somebody excuse me, I just burped. If somebody did that, it would be like, I don't know if I'd run to the stage, but I'd be pretty excited and scream and be like, "Woo, you go, Gunner and Avery and Will."
Oh, it was just so cheesy. But it was funny. It made me laugh. I enjoyed it. And then the other two main storylines. Then we had Juliet still at her like Scientology camp. And speaking of people returning, her random Christian savior friend came back. I forgot she existed.
Allie.
I forgot she was even a thing. And she sang this week. Her song was okay.
It was kind of boring. She's a good singer, but it's not my type of music.
When I see her, why do I think biscuits? Did she sing a song about biscuits last season? It's like as soon as she pops up, I start talking about biscuits.
Are you thinking she's the buttermilk biscuit lady from the KFC commercial?
Popeyes?
Oh, Popeyes, that's it.
I don't know. I don't know why like biscuits like come to my mind whenever I see this woman. I don't know.
You want to sop her up with biscuits?
There's no gravy. I don't know what she's been sopped up with then. Oh my god. So she's back, and it looks like her and Juliet are on good terms, and Juliet's still at her like crazy Scientology camp. And when she's walking,
that's a scary camp.
When she's walking down the hallway and hearing those like weird death cries,
yes,
that was scary. It did sound like somebody was dying. And I guess we find out that she was sexually abused as a child.
Her mom sold her to some old guy who molested her for a stack of 20s.
That was quote unquote uncle.
That's super dark. Like, I mean,
that is super dark.
Nashville, come on, that's too dark. I can't deal with that. You're my lighthearted entertainment, okay?
I know it was kind of dark for Nashville. I come to Nashville for Will stabbing himself with hormones, not this dark storyline.
Or like Daphne's fun storyline.
Oh yeah, so Daphne. Who'd have thought that she'd get paired with her dad's girlfriend's kid for their dissecting the frog assignment.
Oh my god, like that's so weird that could have happened.
Yeah, I like how the teacher's like, okay, do-si-do, go 5 to the left, look behind, go 2 to the right, eeny, meeny, those are your partners.
Until Daphne's matched with Weirdo, whatever his name is.
That kid is so strange. And he got grossed out and was about to like puke, so he runs out of the room. Daphne goes to chase him, and then he calls Deacon a rageaholic. Which is that a term?
Yes. I guess.
It's my new favorite term. You're a rageaholic. And apparently that was like the most like offensive. That reminded me of a 90s sitcom. I forgot what it's called. It was not a well-known one. I think it's called All of Us. All the Smollett, like Jersey Smollett siblings were in it. And yeah, they're all
ones
in
that are on Empire.
Yeah,
now?
The Empire ones. They're all in the show together as kids. And they had, I guess their parents were away or died or something. So their oldest brother, who wasn't a Smollett, I don't think, he had to dress as like a Mrs. Doubtfire type woman to like let them continue living under one house.
You literally know everything about
this. Was a
every
real show, by the way. It didn't last very long. Yeah, I watched way too much TV as a kid. So there was one show where like a kid comes home and he says "duty head," and they all treated it like "duty head" was like the worst word that could have come out of that
Like
kid's mouth.
this See You Next Tuesday.
Yes. Yeah, it was like, oh my God, he said duty. And so I kind of felt that way with Rageaholic. I kind of felt like that was being kind of exaggerated.
Wow.
But this kid is weird looking. The son, Jesse's son.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I know he's at that awkward age, but I don't feel like his voice matches, like, he looks like he's 10.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
And then I guess at the end they reconcile again and they're friends. And they draw mustaches.
They drew mustaches on their faces, BFFs.
How many episodes are left? Can you believe this was only episode 4?
It feels like it's been longer.
Yeah, feels like it's been a lot longer.
And next week it looks like
I didn't see the trailer.
So I saw the preview. It looks like what's that boy's name that Maddie's been seeing? The Justin Bieber guy?
Oh, the Finn Wolfhard guy?
Yeah.
Maddie. Oh, sorry, I'm thinking of Daphne.
Maddie.
Oh, yeah, the Justin Bieber guy. Jonah.
So his girlfriend or ex-girlfriend makes a video, and in the video, she rips up a picture of Maddie, like Sinead O'Connor with the Pope on Saturday Night Live. And so Maddie goes to confront Jonah, and he's like, I can't take it anymore. That's all I saw. I don't care what else happens.
Maddie didn't really do anything this week.
No, she just told the secret about Rageaholic.
She wasn't even at the horse rehabilitation camp. Come on. This was so stupid. But yeah, well, I remember when she asked about that girl to Jonah. Jonah's like, oh yeah, we're just together for the movie. We weren't. So did we?
Sure they are. So yeah, and we saw at the very end was Deacon. Oh no, next week. Was it this week? Do they have sex this week?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, that's in the preview for next week then. She goes, want to come back to my place? Jesse and Deacon, yeah, she doesn't want to come back to my place, and then you see her like taking off her shirt and she's like straddling him. So.
Oh, and then Daphne and her son walk in and watch.
And it'll kill them
with coffee.
How could you do that to my mom, Lena?
Yeah, so that's Nashville. Yay! Fox premiered a new show this week. Last Sunday they had an episode Sunday, and then Monday night. Monday's its regular night, called The Resident.
Oh, I prefer to call it not Dr. Sean Murphy.
Not Dr. Sean Murphy. So The Resident is a new medical show, obviously. And we open up with a surgery going on. And it's got this like old, mean-looking doctor. And I guess he makes a mistake and kills the patient. And they're
the scalpel slips and cuts an artery on an appendectomy.
Yeah, and then all the other people, surgeons and nurses in the operating room with him are like, oh yeah, I saw it was a heart attack. So it seems like they always cover for this guy. Is that it's not the first time this is happening.
Well, they were taking selfies, and so he's like, look what you were doing here, blah, blah, blah. So he like kind of scared them and said, we got to cover for each other. And so
yeah.
And then it's revealed that he's had a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, he's had a lot of mistakes, and I feel like he's almost cartoonishly the bad guy. Because we see him
because
in
he's like the public face of the hospital, so he brings in a lot of money, is what they're thinking.
Yeah, and he's the one that people all want to operate on him because they don't know his track record, they don't know he has these issues, and then we see that
it's all covered up. Yeah,
he kind of fakes his own good reviews. He kind of is kind of shady to make sure he is the one doing the high profile surgeries.
Yeah, so, there was supposed to be a surgery with like this new robotics machine, and this lady doctor had been training on it for months and months. And the night before, he's like, I'm going to do that operation tomorrow. And she's like, dude, you physically cannot do that tomorrow.
So they tried to train it. Yeah.
It was like the Singing in the Rain when the girl's singing on stage and Debbie Allen's behind the curtain doing the real singing. It was like that.
Yeah, like Cyrano de Bergerac.
Yeah.
Nerd. Sorry, me. Yeah, it's one.
Do you know what? I like the guy playing the resident.
Yeah, so
I think he's an interesting character. Yeah.
The main, and I don't even know his character's name or even the actor's name. But he is, he the Indian guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of, it's his first day at this hospital, and he gets paired with a mentor doctor who is kind of, I call Dr. Badass.
I hate Dr. Badass.
Dr. Badass is kind of a jerk, but I don't think he's that bad. So Dr.
He's
Badass.
not evil. He's not evil.
No, he's the good guy doctor.
He's an arrogant jerk.
But he's an arrogant jerk. But compared to the cartoonish bad guy, I think we're supposed to root for.
But he was going to kill somebody purposely.
Yeah, and a lot of things that we've done, and we saw Dr. Badass trying to fight for like the heart transplant, and so I think we're supposed to like him, but they haven't made him that likable yet.
No, not in my opinion. Not in the 2 episodes. I'd watch it again though. Are you going to watch it again?
Yeah, I was interested in. Yeah, he's having an affair or at one point was with nurse Emily Thorne. I don't know what her name is. Oh, Nick.
Emily Van Der Kamp, something like that.
Emily Van Camp.
Yeah, that's it.
She's from Everwood and Revenge, and her character's name is Nick. Once again, you always got to have a girl with a boy's name. And she's a nurse, and I feel like she's probably the smartest one at the hospital. She seems to know everything. You got the resident, it's his first day. He doesn't like being put under Dr. Badass, but Nurse Nick is like,
he's the best doctor here.
He's the best here. And then we've got the person who was supposed to do the surgery is this Nigerian lady, and she's kind of like no nonsense. I love her. I like her. She's my second favorite character. Yeah, I think she's my favorite because she's no nonsense. I like when they're like, oh, we got to console all these families, and she's like, yeah, he's dead, like all this and all the families. He made it. Like, he's gonna be okay. He died. Bye. And I just love her like lack of tact, and it's really kind of funny. So those I think right now are kind of like our 4 main characters, right? 5 main characters. Yeah. The nurse, Dr. Badass, the resident, the Nigerian, and the cartoonish bad guy. And then we met this other lady in the second episode who also seems like a cartoonish bad guy. She's the curly hair lady, I guess Melina. Yes, Melina Karakanakis. Yeah. Yes, you can say it. I can't. And she apparently has her own like for-profit. Was that what it was? She had her own clinic, but she does come into the hospital. Yeah, she has a clinic. Yeah, and she comes in and she does work in the hospital too. And she's doing really shady things. Yeah, because they went to look up a patient, and the patient had disappeared. There's no patient found. And she's like, oh, I referred her to my clinic, so we don't know what's happening. Is she selling their organs? Is she taking their babies? Who knows what she's doing? Yeah. But it was a cancer girl. It was a girl with cancer, and she took that person away. Yes. And she's like, oh, yeah, she's fine. And they're like, yeah, these levels that we see on the records, she should not be leaving the building. Yeah. So it's kind of interesting because I feel like this is a latest line of shows where there's like the least subtle show in the world. That show, like, yeah, it could have used some Dr. Sean Murphy, though. Totally used some Dr. Sean Murphy. So let's talk about Dr. Sean Murphy because now we got 2 medical shows that are brand new this season. The Resident and Dr. Sean Murphy, a.k.a. The Good Doctor. Obviously, Sean Murphy's the better show, correct? Yeah, I just think I think the characters are a little more human on Dr. Sean Murphy. They've got more depth, and they're not even let's say the first episode when you had Dr. Melendez, who like you hated, but as the show's gone on, he's definitely warmed up. You see why? Because he was worried that Sean would kill somebody or cause some problems. So you can kind of understand why he was so like, no, I don't want him on my staff. Yeah. Where I feel like this main old doctor guy on The Resident, I don't think we're ever going to get him like a redemption for him. No. Because I think already he's gone too far in the first 2 episodes to get a redemption. Can I just ask this is not about Dr. Sean Murphy. The evil doctor from The Resident, is that Jack's father from Lost? Christian? Christian. He's a name I know. Oh, okay. Tell me after the show. I recognize the name and I'll look that up. So we've got Dr. Sean Murphy. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Characters all seem like they could be real people on Dr. Sean Murphy. Whereas, like you said, you've got the character versions of evil people and good doctors and, you know. I mean, granted, it was the pilot in the first episode after that, and maybe their characters will be more fleshed out. But even just the general tone of the show, it seemed like it was a little more exaggerated than what we get in Dr. Sean Murphy. Yeah. There's something, I don't know. I mean, we don't know the characters that well yet on The Resident.
Just like
Not yet.
there's a humanity, there's a humanity to Dr. Sean Murphy, even though he's got anorexia, even though he's autistic and he doesn't communicate well with people, you still see that he has a humanity to him. I don't feel that yet, other than from the Emily Van Camp character.
No,
You know what I
I think
mean?
she's I mean, like this point, I'm like, who are we supposed? I guess we're supposed to root for her character, Dr. Badass, and the
The
resident guy.
resident, yeah.
The guy who plays the evil doctor, he was the main star, the main dad on The River.
Oh, that's why we know him. The River.
The River. So yeah, so that's Dr. Sean Murphy and the resident. And I'll of course I'm watching Dr. Sean Murphy until it goes off the air, but I'll give resident some more chances. I felt like it was okay.
It was good enough to watch the third. I'm going to give it the third, and we'll see. I don't hate it yet. I'll probably keep watching if there's nothing else on and stuff.
Yeah, which I feel like there really hasn't been a lot on.
No.
But maybe that's just me. I want to talk about one more show super quickly. It doesn't require a lot of time to talk about it. We have 5 minutes. I'm a big game show fan. ABC's been showing a show for the last few weeks called Child Support.
Oh, it's so sweet. I love it.
It's a fun little show. So it features a contestant. It's an hour-long show. There's 2 contestants per hour. Usually they're divided 30-30, but not really. Depends on how each one does. And they have to answer, I think, 12 questions?
Something like
that. So
it's
almost like Millionaire, where it goes up a money ladder. But if they get one wrong, there is a video pre-recorded of a bunch of kids being asked that same question. And I think there's like 4 or 5 kids. And if those kids get that answer correctly, the person gets to keep going up their money chain. Of course, the highest number decrease in value that they can win.
The highest is 250,000. If you get one wrong, then your highest becomes 100,000 or whatever it is.
And so, but if the kids get the question wrong and don't know the answer, then you lose and you're eliminated, and you lose everything.
All your money.
There's 2 points where they can leave with, I think, whatever they have at that point, whether it's 10,000.
It could be 10,000 or it could be 5,000. Just depends on where they are in the money ladder.
I think it is 10 questions. I think it's at questions 4 and 8 they can walk away.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But
you forgot to say who the person asking the questions is.
Yeah, so the host of the show is Fred Savage from The Wonder Years, that we all know him from. And the person asking the questions is Ricky Gervais. And I think that's the best part of the show.
Me too. I mean, I don't mind answering the questions with the contestants, but Ricky just has, with those kids, there's just something special there.
Yeah, he's got a good chemistry, and there's a rotating group of kids with every contestant. But still, I think it's funny. It's really good, the chemistry Ricky has with all the kids. And I feel like the show, because you're going between the questions and Ricky, it never feels like it moves super slow.
No, because like when you would watch Millionaire and Regis would draw it out and he'd ask questions, it's like, shut up and get to the questions, right? Because you want to be I want to be entertained, right? So I want to answer the question, see if I know it, and then move on. But with the kids, you want to see what the funny little things they're going to say.
Oh, it's really funny. Did you watch this last week's episode?
I didn't watch this yet.
Can I do a couple jokes?
Sure.
Okay, so there's one question that the guy in the second half had to answer about, I think it was like Yellow and Chubby character from Pokemon. And I think the words they used were like yellow and chubby. And in the questions, Ricky's like, oh yeah, I'm kind of yellow and chubby. And one of the kids is like, yeah, I like Donald Trump.
Poor Ricky. I love when they get on him. Your hair is falling out.
Oh,
You're going bald.
A kid in this week's episode said he had good Superman hair, and Ricky was like, "Oh, thank you." It's almost like he wants to say, like, nobody ever compliments me on my hair, but he had that kind of tone. And then there's a couple other moments. It's good. It was a good episode.
I'll probably watch it today if I get a chance.
But
I do like it.
It's a fun little show. I mean, game shows are kind of my escape sometimes. You just put them on, and it's just a nice, easy, fun show to watch.
Well, and what I like about this one is it seems like the trend in a lot of game shows in America is like you can't get on the game show unless you have a sob story. I take care of 6 handicapped foster children, whatever the thing is. And I'm not saying those people don't deserve a chance to win a game show, but regular people like you and I who are good at trivia, we also deserve to get on a game show without having a sob story. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like The Wall is really guilty of that. Like, they have to have a sob story to be on.
Deal or No Deal was like that. It was ridiculous.
And they were like over the top too. They were so annoying. And I feel like you're right. These contestants don't have sob stories. They seem like they're
the biggest sob story was the lady's like, I worked at a deli for 30 years.
Yeah, they seem normal. They're not over the top. They actually do seem like real people.
Yeah. And the questions are pretty easy.
They're really easy. But
like, there's just one episode where I'm kind of like, but for the most part, I feel like I could win some good money on that show.
They can't ask anything too hard because then the kids definitely would not know them. But we keep
seeing the preview where the kid knows about frickin' Charles Dickens and the Industrial Revolution.
No, there's one episode today about a pharaoh. And first of all, there's this little black kid. What he says is hysterical. And then Bowtie. I love Bowtie. He's one of the kids.
Bowtie's awesome.
And Bowtie goes on for like 20 minutes about this topic. And that kid is awesome.
Oh, so he likes history.
I think
he's my little chubby bow-tied wearing child.
I think that's my favorite kid. I love Bowtie.
Yeah, I like Bowtie.
Yeah, Bowtie's good.
I like the little chubby girl too.
Yes, yeah, she has a good moment this week too. Okay. It's a good episode. But yeah, that's child support, and I recommend it. It's just a dumb little game show.
Yeah, and like we said, it was pretty quick, and they don't spend a lot of time on stupid stuff.
Thank goodness, because Millionaire started that trend where game shows started to move at a glacial pace.
Yeah, yes, it's too long.
That's why I like Weakest Link, because I felt like Weakest Link.
Yes, it was fast, and she didn't care about your background or anything about you. No, she did not give a crap.
I love Weakest Link. But yeah, I have to watch an episode later this week. So child support.
Thanks for listening. We're going to say goodbye. I'll be back tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. with Arthur and Ryan, and Justin and I will be back next Sunday, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Have a good week. Bye.
See you later. Bye.